So, again, going back to Angela, our current 5-year-old, sometimes, since she's still young, she's still a toddler, still full of energy and mischievous, sometimes she will do her version of like tag almost with the squirrels. So that's pretty much the only gorilla, both out of the family troop and the bachelor troop, that the squirrels are a little bit afraid of. So imagine like you're just trying to munch on some vegetation and you see this giant 5-year-old gorilla trying to run after you thinking that they're playing. The squirrels aren't gonna think that you're playing. So again, they'll kind of just run around and you'll see Angela sometimes chase them about. It seems like right now she's kind of just enjoying the day. I know yesterday was super rainy, so usually on rainy days, they'll actually get access to their back bedrooms. So if you guys decide to kind of make your way up this space, you might notice as you look along the walls that there's some doors that are there. So on rainy days when those doors are open, it does give them access to their back bedrooms. And more often than not, they'll probably decide to kind of stay in there, because just like us, you know, sometimes we don't really like to be out in the rain. But their back bedrooms are going to be about 2 stories. So they're going to have a bunch of different hay materials, a bunch of different blankets and bedding things. And the reason why we're always giving them that type of stuff is because gorillas, and even gorillas sometimes need a break from that silverback. They will go into that girl's room, and try as he might, Kelly can maybe just stick his hand in and that's it, but he will not make it into the girl's room. So then whenever any of the females are kind of willing to interact with Kelly again, then that's when they can kind of come out of the girls' room and interact again as the family dynamic. So currently on this side, we do have, it's going to be 2 males. So the older male is going to be Kelly. He is the father of the current baby you see right now, and Angela that's kind of throwing the hay up around. So again, 2 males. So it's going to be Kelly, and our newborn is actually a boy. So again, that's the second one. And then we're actually going to have 3 females also in this family troop. So it's going to be the mom and Gia. Rapunzel is going to pretty much take on that aunt figure. So she's not biologically related to any of the gorillas here, but she still takes on that aunt role. And then the youngest female is going to be Angela, which is the one we're kind of looking at. So again, it's going to be the family dynamic. And then in the bachelor troop, we actually do have what we call the silverbacks. So it's going to be the 3 males. They're going to be interacting with each other a little bit more, with a little bit more like almost. So we're going to have Hassani on that side, Jabari, and then HJ. So we call them the brothers. Only the oldest 2 are the signage that says like player disagreement. So usually that's going to be because of that teenager. Just like us, you know, when any of our kids kind of go through that teenage phase, they sometimes get in trouble. And sometimes those older brothers will get a little bit upset, and that's why, again, we have that signage, because sometimes that playfulness does lead to disagreements. With the family troop, though, it's going to be a little bit more calm. They will socialize with each other. Sometimes you'll be seeing them do grooming. So grooming is just them kind of using their fingers, their hands to kind of take off any dirt, any debris on the other gorilla. So you'll see it with the gorillas, you'll see it with the chimpanzees, and you'll see it with the orangutans, how they all kind of groom each other as well. It's just right now, because again, Ngia, which is the mom that we're looking at, because Ngia does have that baby, does have the baby with her, sometimes she'll kind of not want any of the other members of the family troop to kind of be next to her. So sometimes if she's maybe being a little bit more protective, she'll kind of just get up and make her way away from the rest of the group. So right now it seems like she's wanting to be a little bit social, and that's why she's having Angela near her. I know Kelly the Silverback does sometimes interact with the baby, as in he'll kind of get close to Ngia and the newborn and just kind of like observe, sometimes maybe touch. But again, because the baby's still small, they're going to be staying with that mom for another couple months. Just like us, Ngia is going to be breastfeeding, so sometimes you might be able to see that. She does breastfeed, and again, as the baby gets older, they'll start to eat a little bit more solid foods, and then eventually they'll be like Angela, where they're able to kind of grab their own food whenever they want and be a little bit mischievous and kind of just run around. Just to talk a little bit more about Angela, so we don't have her feeling left out. One thing that she does do a lot is she'll do like her version of cartwheels almost, or her version of like twirls and things like that. So when she's in a really super playful, energetic mood, you'll see her that she tends to come up to the front area and she'll like drag a branch around. She'll kind of like swing it around. Sometimes she'll even put it on top of her, and she'll kind of just like walk around with it just to see how far she can get. Again, because she's still young, she's able to get away with certain things that she does that maybe her parents are kind of starting to dislike. So a good example of that would be Angela and Kelly. So Angela is going to be, you know, again, mischievous. So sometimes, going back to that branch that she likes to drag sometimes, she will, it's not as often that it's happening now, but when she was younger it would happen a little bit more often. She would actually grab the branch and kind of go up to Kelly, her dad, and just whack him. So she would whack him with the branch, and then she would kind of like scurry away, and then she'd go back and whack him with the branch. So Kelly, you know, again, Kelly's going to be a patient father, so he would allow it to happen. He would just kind of, you know, let her do her thing. But now that she's getting a little bit older, she is kind of starting to get reprimanded a little bit more. But again, it's just coming up with the growth. So because she is getting older, her parents are starting to realize, like, all right, you know, we can't let her get away with everything that much. And actually right now what we're looking at is just them grooming each other. So it's pretty cute. Usually you don't see it too often, at least during this type of weather where it's a lot of like mud and like moisture in the air. Usually you won't see it too often where they're kind of interacting together like this. So it's pretty cool. Especially in the beginning when the newborn was first born. And Gio was really protective of that baby. So she would not let any of the gorillas get close to the baby. And actually it took the keepers a couple weeks before they were even able to figure out what the sex was of the gorilla. So again, the newborn was born on November 22nd of 2025. It took them until maybe sometime in December for them to actually realize what the gender was, because that's just how close and how protective she was of her baby. With some of the other grade A babies that we have, it was pretty much like within that week we were able to kind of figure out what the gender was, but with this gorilla it was a little bit more hard. Yeah, so the first one is going to be Angela, the 5-year-old, and behind her is her mom, and her mom is actually holding the newborn in her arms. So if you kind of look a little bit more to the left, you might notice like little hands kind of peeking out every now and then. But again, the gorilla baby is going to be pretty small. When they're born, they're only going to weigh around, I think it's 4 to 7-ish pounds when they're first born. And then as they kind of get a little bit older, they'll kind of start to spike in weight. So with Kelly right now, he's going to weigh around 420, 450 pounds. So he's currently the one that weighs the most right now, both out of the family troop and out of the... But West and Lowland gorillas are actually a little bit more on the smaller side compared to the other gorilla species that are out in the world. So we do have some Eastern Lowland gorillas out that are going to weigh around like 600-ish pounds. So those are probably going to be the gorillas that are a little bit more on the heavy side. They're going to be the heaviest, like top of the barrel. And Kelly's going to be a little bit more in the middle. So if Kelly decides to kind of make his way out here, I know earlier I was able to see him kind of going up this viewing point. If Kelly decides to kind of make his way out, we'll be able to tell just how big of a difference it is between the males and the females. And you can see just how much bigger he is compared to Angela as well, because again, she's still small. If they decide to kind of move around a little bit, it seems like they might not, just because they're on first, their knuckles will maybe get a little bit more bruised, but because gorillas are always walking on their knuckles, they get really used to these. And then you might notice right now that even though Angela is still pretty small, she does kind of have a little bit of a protruding stomach almost. So with gorillas, both males, females, the youngsters, the older ones, they're going to have stomachs that kind of protrude out a little bit, and that's just because of their digestive system. And look, there she is making her way over here. So with gorillas, again, their digestive system is going to be really similar to ours in terms of they have the small intestine and the large intestine. It's just that each of those intestines is going to be a lot longer than ours is. And the reason behind that is because they need a lot more time to kind of process all the vegetation that they're eating. So if we were to eat a salad, we're not going to really get too much out of it. We might just get some water, maybe a couple vitamins here and there. But if gorillas eat a salad, they're going to be really strong, really muscular on an only vegetation diet. It's also one of the reasons why you won't really see them drinking water too often as well, because a little bit more protective in these past couple weeks. And in case anyone's curious, just like us, you know, gorillas are able to have natural births. So with Ingia, again, she went to labor, and then within a couple hours, depends on the situation. With Angela, again, she kind of went through the same process of when she was born. It took a couple weeks, and then she was able to get her name. Because this youngster is a boy, though, they are going to be staying here for a couple years at the LA Zoo. And then eventually, once they kind of reach an age, we're going to mimic the things that you would see in the wild. So in the wild, when any of the offsprings are kind of growing up, and especially with the boys, when they reach their like almost teenage years, they kind of start to get pushed out of the group a little bit. So they slowly start to get pushed out the group just so they're able to kind of find a new family and start their own troop. So we'll probably end up mimicking that because we want them to, again, kind of exhibit the same behaviors that you would see in the wild. So once this youngster starts to kind of grow up and get a little bit closer to the teenage years, we'll maybe send them off to another zoo just so they're able to start their mix that's needed to be a social. So he's kind of giving us a little side view. In case any of you guys are able to get a pretty good glimpse of his forehead, you might notice that it's a little bit larger compared to the females, right? So there's a reason behind that. The reason is that it just has to do with his bite force. So with gorillas, they're going to have an extremely strong bite force. It's going to be that stronger than a lion, stronger than a shark. It's incredible. But unlike us and how our jaw muscles connect at the bottom, with silverbacks and gorillas, their jaw muscles are actually going to connect all the way to the top of that sagittal crest. So again, that's why he's going to have a little bit of a larger forehead compared to it doesn't have a little bit of a larger forehead compared to females. You'll notice it kind of sticks up a little bit. With him and the other bachelor troop, the one with the largest forehead is actually going to be Jabari on the bachelor side. He's going to be the middle brother, so he currently has the largest forehead. So by default, he would have the strongest bite force, technically. But it seems like they're kind of just enjoying their breakfast, or I guess right now it would be a little bit more brunch time. But it seems like they're just going to be enjoying their food. In case you guys have any questions, you're more than welcome to ask me as well. I also highly recommend kind of following this pathway up. If you follow the pathway kind of going on, sometimes they'll get a little bit closer, especially because of the grass, you can kind of see them right in the front. So in case you guys are interested in maybe checking out our bachelor troop as well, you're more than welcome to. Again, thank you everyone.
Thank you. Are we going to go see the... Yes. And then we'll see the zebra. Oh, I didn't see it. Oh, he's not mad. He's serious. So little. Here, now you can see that. Can you see?
Yeah.
Hold it. Had a baby at the same time. Yeah, it's like, yeah. What's the baby's name?
So we actually haven't named the baby yet.
Aww.
Yeah. And honestly, we probably won't for another couple weeks.
Oh, yeah. Did you see tiny baby on top? Is it a boy or a girl?
It's a boy.
It's a boy. Oh. It's a boy.
So the baby was born on November 22nd. Yeah. So it's still pretty new.
Still very little.
See, the mama is in the back. She's got a little baby on her lap. She's going like this.
Take the picture and then enlarge it.
See?
So here,
The baby.
look,
Look.
V. Here's the baby.
Daddy looks very serious.
And the orangutan and mom is out with the baby right in front also.
Oh, really? Where are
And,
they? We saw that one last time.
right when you go here, go up and immediately to the left, and there's two chimp babies out. The girls are out
Oh,
today.
they're out. We didn't get to see them last time we were here.
This is the first ones we saw, and then the orangutan.
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
seen the baby orangutan.
She's right up front with it. It's
She is. Oh, yeah, pretty amazing.
and here's a picture that my friend just gave me of the baby. It's so up on me.
Okay, I can't wait for that.
so little.
We should be going, see?
Oh, I'm so excited.
We're gonna see how big he is today.
Yeah, he's pretty tiny. Pretty tiny.
They came last This will be our third time seeing
Yeah.
the baby, yeah.
He's holding his head up now, but Mom's got him right up front.
Yeah, his head was like
So
last
cute.
time.
Wow, look at the baby.
Is he playing with his food? No.
This is probably not baby. This is maybe. Well, no, I think that's Angela. She's now 6.
She's 60.
That's a big baby.
Daddy
Yeah.
mad.
Oh, I don't know if he's mad. I think he's
And
serious.
that's Dad back there, Kelly on the left.
Yeah, making sure everybody is safe.
He's like watching.
He's
He's
got
big.
a big job to do, Daddy, too. You know.
And they get that big eating plants. It's kind of
It's kind of insane.
amazing. Oh, I'm so glad I checked in.
No,
She won't admit anymore.
She's a big girl. She talks, she walks, she...
No?
Where's he taking his food? I can't see the villa.
Let's go.
Should we move on?
The guy with those little horn knuckles. Alright, move.
On the sign.
Over here, yeah.
Draw on the mouth. Yeah.
I saw a baby.
Come here, girls. Right there, they're chilling.
Oh yeah, they're chilling. Take a picture of them, Mom. Take a picture.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh yeah.
You see them?
Excuse me. How big are you, soldier? Wow.
There they are. Don't you see them? All right. Wait. Give them boots so you can stand up out of your stroller. Come up to the see them there?
Yeah.
How many are there? That's 4 actually.
4 and a baby.
He's in the swamp.
Oh, cool, huh? Okay, let's go.
No, he would.
Let's go this way and see.
That's too small.
All right.
Unless it's a sibling. It could be a, oh, there's a big. Yeah, the baby's lying there. Yeah, the baby's lying on the hay. That could be a sibling too, from like a prior year. It's probably a female. Cute. Cute, cute, cute.
No lo vayas a dejar caer. Come, Delilah. Come tu pizza, Delilah. They're a family. Family, son familia. Hola. Hola. Vamos a ver las cebras ahora.
Please, Dad. You think he's gonna